Okay, we're back. This is Tales from the Cassette, somewhere in the second season. And I'm Jeff Beach.
I'm Joey Graves.
And tonight we're going to talk about the mighty Van Halen. And this is stretching it a little bit for us. We both like Van Halen's music, but never big fans. I was trying to think in our college days when we were in the car for hours on end going back and forth to Murray State. I don't remember ever listening to Van Halen. It wasn't on the playlist.
No, I mean, it was before Spotify and all that good stuff. So if you didn't have it on cassette,
right, or CD,
you didn't listen to it.
Yeah. When I say it wasn't on the playlist, it wasn't in the cassette pile. That was the playlist back in the day. Or CDs. CDs were ramping up there, but usually if we're making a playlist, it was a cassette that we made up ourselves. But we're going to talk about Van Halen. We're going to talk about the group a little bit, maybe how the Van Halen that we prefer as we were growing up during both Van Halens. And we're also going to talk about our favorite songs, somewhere between 5 and 10 songs each, I think. And maybe no particular order, maybe so. And that will be tonight's show, Van Halen. And so this may be a branching out. Maybe we'll do another show and we'll do one on Def Leppard. Next.
I can do Def Leppard.
Yeah, Def Leppard would be good too.
That's a long discography, though.
Oh, yeah, that's a long one. But before we do, I just, as you know, I follow music news on Twitter, X, and all of that. I thought it was interesting. You know, we talk about Kiss quite a bit. We had the recent show on Kiss. And one of my lasting memories of Kiss is when they were releasing their albums in the 80s. So Animalize and Asylum and Crazy Nights. They all came out right around this time.
It's September.
Yeah,
right?
It's September, yes. Because we would hop in the car and drive to Madison. We tried to talk about this name one time before. What was the name of the record store in Madison that we would go to?
I know Brian corrected you, but I can't remember what it is.
He did. I don't remember. But we did that. So on Twitter X this past couple weeks, they talk about, this day in album review, and all of the release dates for Asylum and Animalize and Crazy Nights were all talked about. So, in fact, I think today, if they're right on the date, today in 1985 was when Asylum came out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite album.
Yeah, and then they also have same place says, so not only Asylum was released, and then 2 years later, Crazy Nights was released. Same day. Today. So earlier today, I watched the MTV announcement of Crazy Nights. When they said, hey, Crazy Nights is coming out, lead single, Crazy Crazy Nights. Video for Crazy Crazy Nights gives the preview of what their shows are going to be like. On and on and on. Yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Was Crazy Nights the album they had several different names for it?
Yes.
Condemnation.
Yes.
Kill something.
Right. So if you can remember, Animalize came out, and then it was just a year later, Asylum came out. So it was pretty quick, back to back. And then it was 2 years until Crazy Nights came out. So they had time. But yes, that was, all the music magazines had these crazy names, which may or may not have been right. Like Condemnation is what they were going to call this thing. I'm glad they changed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they changed it.
Condemnation means other things as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad they changed it, though. And then the only other music news that I had this past week, actually 2 things. This past week, Buckingham Nicks album came out. If you don't know what that is, so Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham recorded an album before they joined Fleetwood Mac. And that was really... It wasn't a big hit. It sort of became a cult classic. And then when they joined Fleetwood Mac, this album just kind of ended up in the shelves. And so they just recently redid it, enhanced it, and released it on in every platform, albums and everything. So that is out there. Stevie Nicks is not a big fan of this. Well, she's not a big fan of the cover. She was behind the process to re-release it, but she's not a huge fan of the cover because the cover looks like that. Yeah.
Well, she was probably how old is she there? Like 19?
19, 20? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's actually a good album. So that came out this week. And then I was listening to an album on the walk today. I forgot to post that. I need to do that. But Foreigner redid their Foreigner 4 album into 4 sides.
I've listened to it.
Yeah. I mean, and I need to go back and listen because I was listening to the main album today and then I went into some of the other stuff. And I mean, it sounds good. And there's things that I heard in that album that I didn't hear before. So I was trying to think as I was listening to it, did they add stuff or is it just that enhanced now that it comes out?
Well, I think they didn't have like four songs that were put on the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
One of them is really good. I can't recall the name, but
yep, I was listening to it today, so I can tell you it was. So, "Fool If You Love Him" was one of the ones that was put on the shelf. "Jealous Lover" was another that was put on the shelf that is actually really good. I thought.
Well, which one they're 4 in a row, right? The first one.
Okay, "Fool If You Love Him" was first song on the second, I guess, disc. If you were buying.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's a great album. The whole album is good. I was trying to get through some of it today because it's 4 hours long, and I wasn't walking. So I thought maybe I'll skip a song on that I know and go to the other ones. But every song on there is good. Great album. If you haven't listened to Foreigner 4, that is the album to listen to. They are a great rock band before they sort of became more poppy in the later 80s. But when this thing came in 81, they are a great rock band. And very, very good songs. Yeah. So I listened to that today. I'm not done yet because I didn't get through all the other songs that I want to listen to. And I'm going to keep it because they have the entire 4th disc is their live concert back in that day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot on that album, alternate takes and acapellas and
yes,
a lot.
yeah, a lot. Yeah, I didn't get through it all. I was listening to it today, and then I played it some when I got home, and then I just still didn't get done. So, yeah, I might not get done for a couple days. But all right, well, let's move on to the topic of the day, and let's talk about Van Halen. Mighty Van Halen. Do you remember? Did you ever buy a Van Halen album? Ever?
I have never purchased a Van Halen album.
Okay, never purchased. I believe I never. Yeah,
my older brother had purchased Van Halen, the first album.
Okay.
The LP, and I think that was his only one he purchased. And I don't know. I just never really got into Van Halen like some of my other friends. Just never did for some reason.
I mean, I don't remember us ever listening to Van Halen. I don't remember it being a topic. Obviously, Van Halen was around as we're listening to, before Van Halen became super big in 1984. They had 4 albums before that. So I don't remember us ever listening to that, talking about them, being a part of what we listened to.
Well, I had a tendency to like bands that other people didn't.
Mm-hmm.
At that time. So, I mean, I've always enjoyed Van Halen. But they were on the periphery for me.
Yes.
Just never really kind of attached themselves.
I mean, I don't think Van Halen was even on the periphery for me before 1984, which is also the same of that name of their album that came out that year. So my parents never listened to like music like that. If we were in the
Right.
car, we're listening to the Reds game. No music at home. And I can remember when my music discovery was going on. My first cassette was Hot Tracks, which had a bunch of good songs on it. And my second cassette was Hall & Oates' Greatest Hits. And anything before that I would want to, before I was buying stuff like that, I would go down to the local Tasty Freeze, take my cassette recorder, plop it up against the speaker of the jukebox, and record songs that way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I can remember the songs. I had a tape, and on it I had Another One Bites the Dust, and I had I Love a Rainy Night.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that about you.
Yeah, that's the way I would get music.
You were Napster before Napster existed.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't care that people were looking at me. But going back to Van Halen, so I don't recall Van Halen. I do recall. So before the MTV obviously is going, I don't remember ever seeing a Van Halen video. But when 1984 their album came out, obviously Jump, monster. So
huge.
I can remember seeing that video for the first time, and I hear the song, and I can hear the song on the radio, and so I have an image of what the band looks like. And it's nothing like what I see when they're playing. I had no idea at least I don't remember them being that they were a rock heavy metal band. I was expecting like, I don't know what I was expecting. I just remember seeing them going, well, that's completely different of what I look like, because I'm basing it on the song Jump, and that's all I got. And, it's a heavy keyboard song. There is a guitar playing in it, but, it's, I did not picture them. So that shows you how much I knew about Van Halen before that year.
Well, because my brother owned the first album, I knew that album.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an idea.
Mm-hmm.
But between 78, when that first album was released,
yep,
and 1984, they disappeared in my.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't follow them, so like Fair Warning and Diver Down and Van Halen 2, Women and Children First.
They went 5 years. Yeah, 5 years, 5 albums.
Yeah.
Yeah. People would kill for that kind of consistency today out of artists. 5 years, 5 albums. Yeah, I actually said 4 before, so it's 5. They had Van Halen 2, Women and Children First, Fair Warning, Diver Down, and then 1984. So, At that point on, I'm pretty fluent in their things, I think. So, neither one of us were that big into it. We knew who they were. They become this monster band in 1984. Then the next year, David Lee Roth leaves, and 2 years later, so in 86, they release 5150, and Sammy Hagar years take over. Monster band during that entire period. #1 albums. What is your favorite Van Halen?
I got to go with Hagar.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite? If you're now looking back, because you've listened to their albums more consistently, do you have a favorite Van Halen album?
Well, that's what I discovered today.
Okay.
Last couple of days, actually.
Yep. Researching.
Okay. I mean, really, the Sammy Hagar stuff, I had never really listened to full albums.
Yeah.
I've heard singles.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of hit singles. I kind of slept on 5150.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fantastic album.
Yeah, I think I lied earlier, because I think I did buy 5150. I think that was the only Van Halen album that I ever purchased, because I remember listening to the entire album. Summer Nights and all the songs down through there. So only way I could have done that back then is by having it.
So the David Lee Roth Van Halen.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I mean, he had swagger
Yes.
that was unmatched. But it kind of felt disjointed. There were a lot of, if you listen to the albums, those 5 albums in between
Mm-hmm.
the first one and the 84.
Yes.
There's a lot of just weird things on there, like acoustic things and
Ice Cream Man.
I don't know. Yeah, and you could tell that David Lee Roth had his hand in all that stuff.
Yes.
I don't know. I felt disjointed. For me, Sammy Hagar, they were a complete band.
Yes.
And looking back, what an introduction, 5150 to a new singer and an established band with "Hello, Baby."
Yeah. That album, I really love that album. It's got a lot of great songs on it. I think when they did that album, and then a couple years later they released OU 8181 OU 8102 8. I'm not gonna get it right.
OU
812. Solid stuff. Now,
very good.
the albums after that were good. I didn't think it was great, but they were still good. I mean, they were just a monster band that entire period of the late 80s into the early 90s.
Well, another thing, well, 2 things kind of popped up to me after I was listening to all of them. Their albums were produced. The production of their albums was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Ted Templeman,
Oh yeah,
and then some other producers after Ted Templeman. But man, they were just mixed, and the sound was fantastic.
Yep.
And I have to give it to Michael Anthony, much better bass player, because I'd never really listened to it in noise canceling headphones.
Yep. Yes.
And I was like, man, the bass was really sticking out to me.
Yes.
So
he is also a great background singer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Great background singer. I would say the Van Hagar years are probably more my favorite. I like all the songs. I've listened to the albums going back, and David Lee Roth's albums are good. They are very different than that Sammy Hagar. I think for his first album with them, they really put it together. Pretty amazingly, they put it together for that one album. So I think that would probably be my favorite album as well. And of course, we've seen David Lee Roth live as he opened for Kiss. Yes.
In Fort Wayne.
In Fort Wayne, Indiana. So, so we're going to talk about our 5 or whatever number of favorite songs. I'm going to look at my list here real quick. So I actually had 6, and I've got actually 4 of those are Roth songs.
Well, I have. Can we count them all? 1, 2.
Yeah, don't go beyond 10.
I have 17, and I believe all of them are Hagar songs, but maybe 5.
Really? Can you cut 7 of those songs out to get to 10?
Yeah, I can do that, I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Well, let's I don't know that I have an order, but I do have a couple of favorite songs. So I'll save a couple of them. And then we'll just talk about all the other ones that are our favorites. And since you've got 10, I will add a couple that I was thinking about today. But maybe we'll save a couple of your favorites, but let's start with like the first album. You have any favorite songs off that album?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. On your list.
Jamie's Crying.
Yep.
Running with the Devil.
Mm-hmm.
Those were
my favorite. One of my favorites, and this is in the top 6 that I had, was "Ain't Talking About Love."
I got that one on my list as well.
Okay.
It's further down the list, but
Further
it
down
is
the-
on.
Yeah, that was the only one. I mean, the other ones, I mean, Eruption leading into Really You Really Got Me. I mean, they have a lot of covers on some of their early albums.
Yes.
Feel Your Love Tonight is a good song too. Ice Cream Man's kind of weird. But those are all really, really good songs on that. If you want to talk about any, let me know, but I'm going to go on to Van Halen 2.
Keep going. That's fine.
Okay. Van Halen 2, I did not put any, I didn't have any off this album as my favorite. I like Beautiful Girls, but it wasn't on my top list.
I gotta see what the track listing is.
Mm-hmm.
No, nothing.
Dance the Night Away was probably the biggest one on there.
Nope, I don't have any from Van Halen 2 on my list.
Yeah, it was interesting. A couple things I picked up as I was doing this research. One, before they asked Hagar, they did ask Daryl Hall, which would have been completely wild. And then it was interesting, there was infighting, disagreement as they were putting together their albums. You sort of mentioned this with the way the albums are disjointed. You can tell the ones where Roth puts it together, his simple stuff, having fun. And then when you get to Women and Children First, Eddie was like, we're going to do a little bit darker stuff. And this album is really different than the ones that came before. No covers. A little bit darker, heavier. And that's what Eddie wanted to do. Now, after this, I think Dave got his way again, and they went back to his stuff. But on Women and Children First, did you have anybody off this? Any songs off this?
Nope.
I like Everybody Wants Some. That was on my top list.
It's fine.
Yeah. Nothing else on there.
Nope.
Nothing else. Okay. So we're up to 81 now. Fair Warning comes out. Actually, this one, I think it was the Diver Down was the one where Dave sort of took it back. But this has got a good song. I thought about it on here, so maybe I'll add it since I need more than the 6 that I had. But I thought Unchained could go on the list.
Unchained, I have it on my list.
Yep. Any others off this one?
No.
No. Okay. Then we went back to Diver Down. This is where you got 2 big covers. This was their hits. Oh Pretty Woman, Dancing in the Street. Happy Trails is a fun song at the end. Anything off this that you like?
Well, actually, Where Have All the Good Times Gone is a cover as well.
Oh, it is.
Yep, the Kinks.
Who's that a cover from? Who?
Kinks.
The Kinks. Okay.
And I actually had that one. I like that song.
So they were covering Up a Storm on this, and I think
Roth covers on this.
Yeah, Roth liked to do covers, and he won out and did the covers, and so they disappear for a couple years, and then they come back, and they are a completely different sounding band from Diver Down to 1984. Like, you talk about switching singers after this, they sound more different between these 2 albums of Diver Down in 1984 than they do afterwards. I think. Because heavy keyboards all over the place on 1984.
Yes.
Big time.
Supposedly that was one of the reasons why David Lee Roth left.
Yes. But this album obviously branched them out. They became huge. Probably the biggest rock band in the world in 84.
Mm-hmm.
MTV had a field day with their videos, and they had these fun videos. I had a couple songs off of this album that I think are their best.
I have 2 off this album.
Mm-hmm. We might have same too.
Probably
one of mine is Hot for Teacher.
No.
Okay. That's just a fun song.
It is.
It's a fun song. The video is hilarious.
Agreed.
Yeah, huge airplay, fun song. My other song that, and this is probably this would be in my top 3 Van Halen songs, would be Panama.
Panama's on my list.
Mm-hmm. Great
And
song.
then I'll Wait.
Oh, yeah, I like I'll Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jump, I've never been a huge fan of.
It's okay. But it doesn't like, you know, back in the day when it came on, I didn't go, oh.
Okay, and then so that was huge. Then they break up. David Lee Roth leaves, goes off, does couple things solo, California Girls, Just a Gigolo, all of that's going on. And Van Halen comes back with Sammy Hagar in 1986. So, and releases this album, and I can remember this album being all the school trips and this song's blasting off of this thing. And probably my favorite, whoops, I just started up a song. One of probably my favorite Van Halen song is on this album.
Dreams?
Nope. They did not make the list. Their lead single, Why Can't This Be Love? Great song.
That was, well, I mean, really Good Enough. Why Can't This Be Love? Summer Nights. 5150.
Best of Both Worlds. If I was going to add another song to my list, that would be the one.
I mean, this is a killer album.
Yeah. Love Walks In. They were on it on this album.
Well, I watched when they introduced him into the band on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
And the chemistry, anything can be faked, I guess, but
yeah,
they really looked like they had a lot of chemistry.
Yeah, going then.
Eddie Van Halen and Sammy Hagar. And
well, you just putting this album together shows that they did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they were kind of magic together. And I think, unfortunately, alcohol or drugs, whatever, got in the way, egos later on. But
yes. Oh, I said it out earlier because I wanted to mention it, but I read this book. I think I'd mentioned it before. And Van Halen is prevalent all through this book because, they were rising scene and out on the West Coast, and they were playing all over the place, playing in backyards and then playing in clubs. And so Van Halen is talked about all through this book, just as they were eventually got to other bands like Poison and all that. But Van Halen was such a base in this. Good book if you haven't read this.
I have not.
I'll save it for you. You'll like
it.
All right. Okay. So that was a great album. So now another couple years goes by and they come back with OU 812. And I have a song on here I kind of like. I would probably put it close to my top 10, but only one, I think. Do you have anything on here you like?
I have really one that sticks out.
Which one?
Black and Blue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's okay. It's never been one of my favorite songs. I remember, following up 5150, and I think Black and Blue was their lead single off this album. And so I was kind of like, I don't know that I like it. I do like Feels So Good. I think it's a very different song than Van Halen had put out. I like the beat of that song. Yeah, of course, When It's Love was the big single. It's fine. And then you get into For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge in 91. And I didn't have anything. In fact, I've already covered all my songs, I think, that I liked. Well, I guess my top songs. But there's some good ones on here. Any that you favorite here?
I do like Pound Cake.
Mm-hmm. I like how it starts with the drill.
I like Run Around.
Uh-huh.
And Top of the World.
Top of the World, yep. Those are all good. And then they had, they put out a live album, which is good. Right Here, Right Now. And then they're still cruising along. So we're in the 90s now. So they're surviving the grunge era. which a lot of bands that we've talked about on previous shows could not. And they release Balance, which happens to be the last album with Sammy Hagar.
And from what I've read, and seen on YouTube, that this was a very difficult album to get through.
Yes.
Recording together.
I mean, it's got Can't Stop Loving You, which is a good song, but you can kind of tell this album doesn't have what the other ones do, which is sort of that cohesive. Yeah. It is interesting, though, and I can't remember the exact date, but probably my second favorite Van Halen song comes from this era. It's not on one of these albums.
Oh, is it from the Twister album? Twister?
Yeah. Humans Being.
Yeah, human beings.
And you want to talk about seeing Van Halen rock. They rock on that song. It is heavy. Sammy doesn't sing like he normally does. Eddie is thrashing that guitar. Alex is beating the drums. That is a great song. Humans Being. If you haven't listened to Humans Being, go find that. Listen to it. Great Van Halen song.
Yep, I enjoyed that one.
So then Hagar's out. And they bring in Gary Cherone. I didn't put any of the Gary Cherone songs on here, though when I was researching it. Yeah.
I did not listen to that album.
I didn't either. But I was researching it. They said that there was a song that hit the charts, the rock charts at the time. So I thought at some point I should go back and at least listen to one of the songs. Lots of greatest hits coming out around that time of Van Halen. But there was one more album that I wanted to mention, and I think I mentioned this in a previous podcast, but back in 2012, Van Halen was getting back together with David Lee Roth, kind of crumbled at the end for all the reasons they didn't do it. But if you want to listen to, I think, a good album, is go listen to A Different Kind of Truth. It is a Roth album.
Yes, I knew David recorded that. Yeah. Wasn't it a bunch of leftover stuff?
It was like a lot of demos they went back and finished and would put it together. This album actually did pretty well, but by the time it was released, they were broken up again. So I think they released it.
I did listen to Tattoo.
Yes. Tattoo is one.
I didn't care for it. No.
There is also, where is it? There's also, if you like Van Halen with Hagar or with David Lee Roth, he put 2 new songs on the Best of Volume 1. Can't Get This Stuff No More, which is okay, but Me Wise Magic is actually a good song as well.
Yeah.
And Humans Being is on that. I forgot that was on Best of Volume 1. So that was my list. So if I look back at my list, because I only did 6, I had the first one, Why Can't This Be Love? The second, Humans Being, and then the other, Panama third, and then the others in no order. Ain't Talking About Love, Everybody Wants Some, and Hot for Teacher.
Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 17 are Roth. But almost all of them are in my top 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But then it just the albums become more consistent.
Yes.
And that's why I have more Hagar songs on here.
Yes. Yeah, it is funny when I built I built playlists today, and when I have a rock playlist, Van Halen was kind of all over that. And a lot of the Roth songs were on there. Not many Sammy songs, but a lot of the Roth songs are. Yeah, it's funny. Of all the artists out there nowadays, I'd love to go see Sammy Hagar. I hear he puts on great show.
Yeah, I wish I had seen Sammy about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I think he's still
got a great voice, but yeah. He hell, he's like 75, 76
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah, he's not going to jump around in the red suit anymore or yellow suit that he used to wear all the time. But no, I think it's still good because he's got a good touring
He's
band too.
only 77.
77.
He's getting ready to turn 78.
I mean, his band is good. He's got. I think he's been touring with Michael Anthony still in the band, and
Joe Satriani.
Yeah, Satriani is in there, and he if Red Hot Chili Peppers isn't touring, then I'm blanking on the drummer, but Chad, can't remember the name. Red Hot Chili Peppers drummer plays drums with him. Yeah, and so it looks like Will Ferrell.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, looks like so he plays drums. So I've listened to some of the Chicken Foot and all of that, and it's good. David Lee Roth in this day and age is not that good. As obviously we saw him, his concert was not great, and he's still touring though. He's still touring. People are still going.
But that was what, 6 years ago?
Yeah, it was before COVID, so it was 19.
Yeah, 6.5 years.
20. That was 20, right? Yeah, because it was right before.
It was 2020.
2020.
So 5.5 years ago.
5.5 years ago, he was touring, and it wasn't good then.
No, but it was better then than it is now.
I'm sure.
From what I've seen on YouTube. So
yes, yeah, I agree. All right, well, that's our Van Halen show.
Halen.
We can branch out.
And I mean, 5150. I will put that on my playlist. I have been sleeping on that one. So
yeah, I mean it's amazing how strong it is and coming out, and you know after you figure 1984 comes out in 84 and they do that massive tour. They're all over MTV for a long time.
All over.
How many singles came off of that album? How many videos? So they had videos for Jump, Panama, Hot for Teacher, I'll Wait. So and then they come, then they sever ties with Roth, get with Hagar, put that album together, and how strong it is all the way through is pretty amazing. Yeah. And that was released in the fall as well, because I remember us being at school when it came out, and we were like, wow, this is it's pretty good.
And I remember BJ buying the OU812. There for a short period of time, there was a music store by
yes,
Convenient.
Yeah, there was one over where the IGA used to be in the little plaza. There was a music store right there.
Well, there was one about where Convenient.
Oh, there was. Okay,
near you.
Yes,
like where Papa John's was. And that's where he bought it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how long that store was open.
I don't think it was very long.
Yeah, because we ended up, I remember we drove to Madison all the time, so I don't know if that was because they would get the releases and the store near us would not, or why that was. But we would always drive over there. I don't know why. All right, that's our Van Halen show. We're going to talk about next time. We got lots of topics if we're going to stay in the 80s. We got hair metal bands, hair bands. We could talk about some of the best hair band albums of the 80s. At some point, the 50th anniversary release of Live is coming, I think, any time now. They haven't released any detail.
I think toward the end of the year.
Okay. But the anniversary of it already came and went. But the album is coming, so we'll talk about that at some point when it comes as well. And then we'll also get to talk later this year after they do the KISS convention and we find out what's going on with that. Which we're not going to, but maybe a future time. Maybe our sponsors will send us there one day.
We are talking about having a special guest on.
Yes.
Did you do your research?
Not yet, because it's still ways out. Okay,
so we're looking at having a real guest.
A real guest. Well,
early in October.
Brian was real, but
yes, he was real.
He was real. But yeah, someone that we don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, so we should do that sometime later in October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want late October?
Yeah. Let's do late.
Okay.
Let's plan for late October.
Okay, because I think he's putting something together and getting ready to release it. So
Okay. Oh, that'd be
probably
perfect.
probably a good time to have him on.
Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. Yeah. And so, well, thank you for watching and listening. So if you if you want to comment, we got YouTube and we're on Spotify. And if you comment, one of us will comment back. Love to hear your comments, good, bad, negative. If you have suggestions for shows, we have a list, but we're open to suggestions. Sometimes we'll go on the fly and do this. And then we also are on X, and we are on Facebook. And feel free to give us suggestions, comment, help us grow, like and share and comment.
And remember, when we get to 100 subscribers,
Yes,
I am going to donate $100 to my charity of my choice, and Jeff's going to donate $100 to a charity of his choice.
That's right.
So,
And I didn't check in the last few days, but we were in the mid 60s.
we still are.
Okay, we didn't pick up any over the last few days. That's all right.
No.
Okay. Well, good. Well, thanks for watching. We will be back soon. This is Tales from the Cassette. I'm Jeff Beach.
I'm Joey Graves.
We'll see you soon.
See ya.